The 2020-2021 Rideau Hall Workplace Review was an external review by Quintet Consulting of the workplace culture at Rideau Hall, which hosts the Governor-General of Canada and her staff, initiated by the Privy Council Office following allegations of harassment and verbal abuse by Governor-General Julie Payette and her secretary, Assunta Di Lorenzo. The review ultimately produced a report in January 2021 concluding that Payette and Di Lorenzo presided over a toxic work environment, resulting in their resignations on January 21. On July 13, 2017, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his recommendation of Julie Payette to succeed David Johnston as the 29th Governor-General of Canada. Payette was formally appointed by the Queen on October 2, 2017. The role of the Governor-General is to represent the monarch of Canada, Queen Elizabeth II, when she is not in the country, and includes granting royal assent to legislation passed by Parliament, and dissolving Parliament for an election on the advice of the Prime Minister. Trudeau's method of selection for the role was criticized for failing to appropriately vet candidates, as the Advisory Committee on Vice-Regal Appointments established in 2012 was left dormant following Trudeau taking office in 2015. Following the 2021 resignations, critics alleged that, in 2017, when he picked the former astronaut, Mr. Trudeau and his advisors were apparently so enthralled with ticking those symbolic boxes of installing the candidate who neatly fit the image, that they obviously didn't do enough to check on who she really was, blaming the government and the Privy Council Office for failing to spot red flags before Payette's appointment, and then failing to act once the media had highlighted them. On July 21, 2020, CBC News reported that Rideau Hall staff faced harassment and verbal abuse by the Governor-General. Sources detail that early into her tenure, Payette would question staff regarding topics unrelated to what was being discussed at meetings, such as put staff on the spot by quizzing them about outer space. Payette was alleged to also have thrown tantrums in her office, yell at and belittle employees, and refer to their work as shit. Staffers were seen leaving her office in tears. Secretary to the Governor-General Assunta Di Lorenzo, who manages the office of the Governor-General, also was reported to bully staff, calling them lazy and incompetent. The position of secretary is typically filled by a seasoned public servant. However, Di Lorenzo, a lawyer and friend of Payette, was described by staff as not having understood how the public service works 2 years into her term. The government had to create a new position of associate secretary to assist Di Lorenzo on managing the office. Rideau Hall's press secretary issued a statement denying the allegations. "We deeply regret this reporting, which has no basis in the reality of working at the OSGG, and obscures the important work done by our dedicated staff in honoring, representing, and showcasing Canadians." New Democratic Party leader Jagmeet Singh commented that, "I think the first step would be to follow up on complaints, and then there could be a thorough investigation of these, and if there were enough evidence to warrant suspending the Governor-General from her duties, then that would be assessed at that point." When asked about the harassment allegations against the Governor-General on July 24, Conservative leader Andrew Scheer declined to comment, but said he hoped there would be a comprehensive look at other allegations in the Prime Minister's office. After the story broke, Rideau Hall's press secretary said her office strongly believes in the importance of a healthy workplace. "We have taken many steps to foster this. We will continue to do so and will work at constantly improving," and called for a review. The CBC reported on August 12 that the Office of the Governor-General was bringing in psychologists specializing in workplace stress to speak to employees, and Payette released a memo on July 31, telling staff that she was listening to concerns and urging them to stay united. "Rest assured that I take workplace harassment very seriously and fully support the review of our practices and the continuation of concrete actions to ensure a healthy and safe work environment for everyone, at all times and in all circumstances." In response to the allegations, the Privy Council Office announced on September 1 that it would retain Quintet Consulting to launch An independent, third-party review of the workplace culture at Rideau Hall. Current and previous employees were invited to be voluntarily interviewed about their experiences at Rideau Hall. During the investigation, the CBC reported that the Prime Minister's office failed to conduct checks with Payette's previous employers prior to her appointment as Governor General. Sources who previously worked with Payette at the Canadian Space Agency, the Montreal